Adam and Zayneb and Babies, Not Theirs, in Stars Halallow, by S.K. Ali. Narrated by Safiyya Ingar. This is a fluffy story. You've been warned. Chapter 1. Zayneb. Are you done? I take a breath and lean over my protruding belly, because I am. In response, Adam folds a small section of his sheet of paper and creases it with the side of his thumb and passes the whole thing over to me before taking the pleated page I hand him. I lean back and settle the paper I just exchanged with Adam on my baby bump. Now we're on to the why, I remind him. I think hard. This is a game we play sometimes to calm my nerves, but I never thought we'd be playing it at a hospital, where I'm supposed to give birth later tonight. Or maybe not. The contractions started in the morning, but they said they may send us home soon, because there's no intensifying happening. I try not to think about what the intensifying leads to. Thinking about it will lead to a big meltdown. Are you done? Adam asks, holding out his folded sheet. Now we're supposed to exchange pages again, unfold the sheets of paper, and read aloud the story we'd compiled, alternating the who, what, where, when, and why we'd written down. It's usually very funny, and I can't wait to read. And I can tell from Adam's face he wants to laugh with me, but I haven't started recording my why down. I start writing because, but can't go on. Because I feel a big wave swelling in me, and suddenly the squeezing starts intensify. Chapter 2. Adam. I nudge her awake in the seat on the train beside me. Are you having the dream again? Was I screaming? She looks around the dark compartment we're in, vestiges of fear in her eyes still. Did anyone hear or see? You didn't make a sound. Just started twitching and saying, oh no, oh no, oh no. Was it labor again? It didn't happen yet. I was just about to be wheeled in. She shudders and settles against me. I wasn't ready for it, as usual. Are you really that worried about going to Stars Halallow for this job? Remember, you're the one who got me to sign up with you. I'm trying not to make it worse for her, but this complete change in Zayneb's enthusiasm is not something I'm used to. She's pretty dependable to sustain her high-octane energy for the things she has to talk me into, like where we're headed on this train on a Friday afternoon in early November. Stars Halallow, a cozy little town that a bunch of Muslim businesses and influencers are taking over to raise money to help rebuild Gaza, the West Bank, and the lands in between them, now that the occupiers have been arms embargoed out of that part of Palestine. People of all backgrounds are going to be staying over in Stars Halallow's inns and bed and breakfasts, with Airbnb being banned because they're on the boycott list, and spending time boosting the local volunteer run for this weekend Stars Halallow economy through their purchases, all of which will go to the hashtag Rebuild Palestine Forever Fund. It's expected the campaign will get at least $300 million from this weekend alone. When we signed up to volunteer months ago, Zayneb had said we should put ourselves down for the jobs nobody wanted. Last weekend, they told us this would be working with babies. Not the children's programs, the toddler drop-ins, or even the daycare. We'll be at the baby care center, where people can entrust their napping babies and leave for some free time while we monitor the infants, messaging the parents and carers as needed. Cue Zayneb's disturbing dreams all week. Chapter 3. Zayneb. You got over your fear of cats for Adam. You got over that phobia so much you became a cat lady overnight. I tell myself, no one needs to know the secret you haven't told anyone in the entire world. But girl, we know you can survive this weekend too. I'm scared of newborn babies. Like, not literally scared of them. Like, they don't cause me to run and scream and hide like certain animals make me do. Like butterflies. I'm scared of dropping them. The babies, not the butterflies. Of hurting that soft part on the top of their heads that I don't even want to look up the name because then I'll learn all the science behind their squishiness. I'm scared of one of those things looking into my soul and bawling its bald head off as a result. Things, it, and its. That's what I've been calling babies the entire time I've been gearing up to take this job that the Stars Halallow organizers assigned me and Adam. That I told Adam I was meh about, due to being queasy about labor and delivery. He'd said we're not midwifing, we're handling the end product. I changed the subject by kissing his unnecessarily reasonable lips shut. When I signed us up for whatever volunteer position no one wanted, I'd imagined it would be mopping the floors of one of the cute cafes or bakeries or gift shops or vintage stores, as in the adorable places we're walking by right now in Stars Halallow, or even sweeping the streets and raking autumn leaves off the lawn around the town square with that huge gazebo festooned with Palestinian flags, where Dana Saleh, Yat Aline, and MC Abdul would be performing with Macklemore on Saturday night, or even cleaning the bathrooms in the community hall. I'm a germaphobe, but even that I could have handled for this cause. OMG, I can't believe I'm more wary of babies than germs. Zaynab, Adam, assalamu alaikum. From across the street, half a block away, Sausan beams from her niqab. I can tell she's smiling huge from the way her face covering flickers just so, and waves to us before stepping out of a bright yellow door with darker yellow stripes running diagonally and holds it open. In celery green font, it says Child Care Center at the top of the door. I glance at the window beside it, the one full of kid-drawn pictures, and begin beaming myself. Sausan is holding the Child Care Center door open. For us. OMG, they reassigned us. I perk up and hurry. We're going to work with the kids, I tell Adam. The baby center is near the medical clinic, which is up ahead, on this side of the street. But Sausan's calling us over to the kids. That's weird. They said there was absolutely no reassigning duties. We're coming, Sausan. Sausan frowns. Her eyebrows aren't covered, and they're super expressive, so I can see them from across the street. As I wait for a halal guy's food truck try to maneuver around an ice cream truck with a scowling, big mustache driver who's attempting to park in front of the child care center. Sausan's voice carries over the trucks. No, you guys are in the baby center. Hurry because your shift starts in half an hour. We've already started here. We're going on a walk to the town square. With my heart sinking, I see she's holding the door open for someone pushing out one of those mega-long toddler strollers, full of big, sturdy toddlers. Chapter 4. Adam. Our friend Jana's mother is managing the baby center. She shows us how we'll bring the parents who drop in with their babies to a big room called the quieting space, which is dimly yet warmly lit and has areas curtained off with a comfortable recliner in each space for carers to soothe and settle their babies for a nap. Once the babies fall asleep, we will transfer them into a cot in the same curtained space. Our main job is to swaddle and re-soothe the babies should they fuss and fidget in their sleep, and we may even be so lucky as to be enlisted to entertain them if parents want more time out of the town. Auntie Husna says, smiling. That's my favorite part, getting to play with the babies. She rubs her hands together, and beside me, Zaynab suddenly shudders. I take my pea coat off and drape it on her shoulders. She brings it around her body and buttons herself into the coat, without putting her arms through the armholes. It's like she's borrowing. Auntie Husna looks concerned. Oh, are you cold? They turned the heat on, but I told them to leave it at a moderate temperature, as we'll be swaddling the babies ourselves, and we don't want them to get overheated. Auntie Husna shakes her green hijabbed head. I'll be okay. I just got hit with a sudden gust of cold air. Zaynab smiles and unbuttons the coat. About the swaddling, what does that mean? Auntie Husna laughs and says, Such a joker, Zaynab. Come on. Before walking into one of the curtained-off spaces to stand in front of a cot where a baby blanket has been laid out, Auntie Husna suddenly whips out a hyper-real, ultra-soft baby doll from a shelf underneath the cot. Show me what you've practiced, Zaynab. Practiced? Why is Zaynab acting so clueless? I tilt my head and look at her. Wait, exactly why is she so confused? I step forward and reach for the doll. May I? Last night, as a precaution, I'd reviewed all the YouTube videos one more time, the ones the Stars Halallow children's care coordinators had sent us to prepare us for infant care, so I'm able to origami the blanket pretty quickly and efficiently around the baby. To finish, I pick the infant up and lean him against my shoulder and stroke his swaddled back in long, gentle yet firm strokes a few times to soothe him, before laying him back down. I'd closed my eyes while cuddling the baby because of a secret wish in my heart. I can't wait to hold my own. I mean, mine and Zaynab's own. His name will be Bilal. Perfect! Auntie Husna looks impressed. That baby is settled for a nice, deep sleep, Adam. Where are the bathrooms again? Zaynab is not beside us, looking fondly down at the swaddled, sleeping doll like Auntie Husna and I are. Zaynab is by the door leading out of the quieting space. I'll take you, I volunteer, even though I actually don't remember where the bathrooms are myself. Good, because I have a meeting with the nurses and security personnel in 5 minutes that I have to prepare for, Auntie Husna says. Before I go, I turn around, pick the baby up carefully, and look at Auntie Husna. For me, to practice carrying a baby around. And with that, I follow Zaynab, who has already left the room. Chapter 5. Zaynab. When I emerge from the bathroom that I pretended not to know the location of, Adam is standing stock still across from the woman's restroom door with his hands behind his back. My nerves are already on edge to see him standing frozen with an all-knowing smile on his face, horror movie-like, is just the worst. But then he goes and makes the worst even worser. He suddenly whips out a hand holding a blanket from behind his back and another hand holding the baby doll upside down by a chubby leg, and I scream. He drops the baby and the blanket. I watch with satisfaction as the baby lands face down. From deep down in the quieting space, Auntie Husna is calling out, her voice becoming louder as she moves closer to the corridor we're in. Everything okay? Adam calls back firmly. Yes, all is well, Auntie Husna. Please take care of your meeting. Nothing to worry about. But then he looks at me and murmurs quietly. Except someone who didn't do their homework. You didn't practice the videos, right, Zaynab? On proper infant care? Videos plural? I don't care that all my ignorance is showing up on my face. There was more than the burrito wrapping one? The proper handling of infants in various stages of development, traditional and non-traditional soothing techniques guaranteed to be effective on most babies, cleaning infants, a clear and easy guide, the guide to various scrunched-up baby faces. I gulp. They wanted us to have a PhD in babies for this volunteer job? Adam laughs. I made the last guide up. Though that would be an interesting one, right? Reading babies' faces. I walk away and down the hall to press my own scrunched-up face against the glass window of the baby care center and look out onto the street. People are starting to come into Stars Halallow, all dressed up in their best fits, and the bustle is so nice to see that my face begins to relax, and I even let a slight smile touch the edge of my lips. I want to be out there. There's a woman in the nicest pale pink from head to toe across the street, her back to me, a pink clipboard peeking out at her side as she guides a crew on the roof, lowering a sign in front of a jade green hardware store. Only 100% boycott-free products inside, the sign announces. Once it's in place, she turns around and checks off her clipboard and strides across the street in her pale pink heels. It's Sarah, a good friend of mine, and also our friend Jana's sister-in-law. I wave hard at her, but she doesn't see me as she begins directing another sign at the business right beside the baby care center. I would seriously be so good at that job of hers. Before, a long time ago, actually, before last weekend, I wanted to volunteer for whatever task nobody wanted to do in Stars Halallow, because that was the right thing to do, to be completely available for the cause of a free Palestine. But babies, the tiniest, most fragile ones. Zaynab, can I... He's come up behind me, and he wants to hug me. But Adam always asks permission in public, because he doesn't like PDA himself, and so tries to be mutually respectful. I know he's asking me now because we're actually not in public. The window is tinted on the outside. I realized this was the case when Sarah just walked by me, unseeing my frantic motions aimed at her. I was holding out hope she'd see me and enlist me to help her with a clipboard task of hers that someone had, maybe alas, dropped. But instead, I'm going to be trapped here soon with tiny, wrinkly beings who can't communicate their immense needs. I nod consent for Adam, and he's immediately holding me, resting his chin on my shoulder, turning his face slightly so that it's brushing against the side of mine. I sink back into him, into his smell of woodsy oud mixed with crisp linen-y soap. This is better than his coat I'd tried to find refuge in just a while ago. He takes a deep breath, and I feel its language enveloping my body, trying to reach its way into my soul, even before he opens his mouth. His voice is low in my ear. Remember a while ago, we promised we'd tell each other everything we needed to hear to stay as strong as when we first knew we were the only ones for each other? I nod again. I can tell you don't want to be here, my H2O, he says, adding his nickname for me. I nod. Even though you love and have been so excited about Stars Halallow for so long. His voice is so soothing. It feels like he's lulling me into a baby swaddler without my permission. I don't like babies, I blurt out. I don't like babies. But you love Maysoon. Adam eases his hold on me in confusion, and I pull his arms to wrap them tight around me again. Maysoon is a toddler. Maysoon is my niece, and I never, ever acted scared of her. And we only saw her 3 times when she was a newborn, before they moved to Qatar. And each of those times she was in someone else's arms, or sleeping. Why don't you like them? Adam hugs me even tighter after asking, even though his voice is the textbook entry for the word bewilderment. Babies, he whispers gently. Non-judgmental bewilderment. And in that security, everything pours out, and it all sounds inexplicably ridiculous. But every time I think Adam is going to find me more unbelievable, more unworthy, I burrow more into him, so he can't get away from me. I continue listing things, my eyes widening at the fragility factor of infants. Babies can get hurt by us, I emphasize. I'm hyper-responsible, Adam. You know that. I can't imagine breaking a baby that belongs to someone else. I close my eyes at the thought of inadvertently harming them. You won't, because we're doing this together, me and you. I'll be by your side for every swaddling, for every soothing, for every diaper changing, for every feeding, every burping. Burping? We have to burp them? I groan. Is there also farting them? Adam turns me around, his arms going back to holding me tight when I'm facing him. The burping sometimes leads to the farting. He kisses me after that. I stifle a laugh into the kiss. When I break away, I laugh full on. Did anyone tell you you give romantic at all times? Did anyone tell you that we gotta pause the kissing because you need to learn to burrito that baby lying on the floor back there? He takes my hand, and before he leads me to the baby, he spins me around like we're dancing. We're in Stars Halallow, so smile. We're gonna baby whisper all day, and then go to dinner at a halal restaurant, have dessert in a place that has Yemeni tea or Kashmiri chai or a beloved Qatari karak, and then we'll sleep at a bed and breakfast run by people who'll smile when they see your hijab and my attempts to grow a beard, smile at our kafiyas. We're gonna work our hardest tomorrow too, and they see a concert when our shift is over where they'll sing for a free Palestine, sing free of scrutiny of their words calling for justice. And then we'll do it again on Sunday. And one day, inshallah, this work and more work like this will let us go visit a free, beautiful Palestine, but only after our Palestinian friends have resettled their land first. I tear up, and through my tears I see the baby doll lying upside down on the floor, the blanket beside it. Mental note for later, throw the blanket in the laundry. Mental note for now, pick that baby up and learn to swaddle that thing. No, her, like the cutest burrito in the world. Maybe if I learn to burrito expertly, Adam will take care of all the diapering. He did promise to be by my side for it all. This weekend and beyond, inshallah. 1 year later. Chapter 6. Adam. Done? I hold out my pleated sheet of paper. Done. She holds out hers. We exchange, and I begin unfolding mine, but before we read aloud, I sit down on the hospital bed beside her. She moves to make space, and once my right arm is around her, she snuggles back over so that we fit into each other. Like always. You first, she says, resting the page in her hand face down on her baby bump. Who, what, where, when, why? I take a deep breath and use a theatrical British voice. Our baby, Ruqayya, ate the best kanaf in the mines of Moria when Jannah and Laith finally got married because she trusted Adam more than any living person in the world. I looked at Zaynab. Ruqayya, you decided? She nods. Ruqayya Malik Chen sounds better than Nada Malik Chen. It has more heft. Ah, but you love the name Nada so much. Maybe for our second one then, inshallah. I hold her tighter. Your turn to read. I hope yours turns out funnier. Adam and Zaynab ate the best kanaf in the Shire, where Jannah and Laith finally got married because Zaynab learned baby head fontanelles are not scary, that they are just a miracle of Allah's design that promises growth through care. Zaynab smiles upon finishing, and then instantly tears up. She's been doing that a lot lately. I kiss a tear at the left corner of her eye away, just as the phone in my pocket pings. I only have notifications for family, so I pull my phone out to see the message. This time, it's me who can't help tearing up. Ruqayya will be going to her first wedding and having kanafa in this shire. Inshallah. I turn my phone around and Zaynab reads out the message from Laith. Salam. Breaking news. Jannah and I are finally getting married, but we decided since she's moving to me in New Zealand, we're holding the wedding here. Jannah's father says he'll help subsidize family to get down to Auckland. That's you guys, fam, so be ready to travel with that baby, inshallah. Uh-oh, Adam, it's intensifying. Zaynab grimaces from a contraction, and I sit up. This time is not just a dream Zaynab's having. But it's okay, because we'll do it together. Fight through it, breathe through it, bring life through it, always together. Since the day I first saw her as mine, that's how I've wanted all our oddities to be. Hardships handled with each other's tender care, and our marvels as dreams coming true. Epilogue. Bertha Fatima. And, dear readers, they went on to have 3 kids. Ruqayya Malik Chen, Bilal Malik Chen, and, of course, their first marvel. A cat like no other, me, Bertha Fatima bint Muhammad al-Fahriya al-Qurayshiyya Chen Malik. As for Nada, our father always says, yet. We don't know of her yet. But if you read Fledgling, the Keepers' Records of Revolution, you will indeed know of Nada of the House of Malik Chen.